About that. You're staying till the end of the show. Now, not everyone is obsessed by Brexit, as you two are, or everyone around this table. Have a look at this clip from Love Island. Well, that was Love Island contestant Hayley Hughes there, and she's back in the big wide world, and she joins us now. It's becoming quite crowded in here. Welcome. It's a shame we couldn't get the daily politics in the Love Island villa, or maybe not with this particular crowd. But luckily, our man Adam Fleming joins us from equally glamorous surroundings in Brussels and can answer Hayley's burning questions about Brexit. Now, first of all, Hayley, do you care about Brexit or not?
I do care about Brexit, I just don't have an understanding about it. So hopefully Adam will learn me more.
Fire away. Ask him.
So, in a nutshell, what is Brexit?
So Brexit is the process where the UK will leave the European Union, which has currently got 28 members, and after the UK goes, there's going to be 27 of them. But you can't just walk out the door. There's lots of loose ends to be tied up, and that's what they're doing now. They're having negotiations, talks about how to tie up those loose ends. And then once those talks are finished, they'll then have another set of discussions about what the future relationship between the EU and the UK will look like well after Brexit. So Brexit is just the name of the process and everything that entails.
Go on, Hayley.
So, how will it affect my life and everybody else's?
Badly.
Stop it, you two.
Very badly.
All right, we've got very badly and very well here, Adam, in the studio. So, yeah, let Adam do it. Yeah, shush. Adam.
Do you know, the easy answer is it depends, because it depends on what you do in your life, what job you do, where you go, what you want to do in future, and then it depends on what is actually agreed between the two sides, and that could be quite a long way off. The main thing is, though, that it looks like there might be a transition period, that's what it's called. So after March next year, when the UK officially leaves, they've kind of done a deal with the EU that most things in daily life will stay the same until the end of December 2020. So actually, it might not affect your life at all for quite some time.
How's he doing so far, Hayley, by the way? Do you understand everything he's saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Great. Go on, go for another question.
And then I've got another question. Will it make things more expensive?
Yeah.
No, that also depends, because some people would say things are already more expensive because it's affected the number of euros that the pound can buy. So actually, if you do go on holiday, it might be a little bit more expensive because of the change of the exchange rate. Then people will say, actually, it comes down to loads of complicated things like what kind of trade deal do we do with the EU that affects their products, and then what happens to the UK economy as a result, what happens to the rest of the world economy. And the problem is there's so many factors go into what the cost of things are that it's kind of impossible for me to say, although you talk to people like Nigel and Alistair Campbell and they'll definitely have a view.
Yeah, which will take about 4 days to tell you. Hayley, what about a question on something Adam might know slightly less about, which is Love Island? Ask him a question about the programme.
OK. Who's your favourite couple in Love Island?
Come on, Adam.
I've lost track of who's coupled up with who, but obviously I've got to say that, I mean, if Adam were to win, that would be pretty good for Adams everywhere, apart from the fact that some people think he's a bit evil.
That's very good. And what about you two? Yeah, ask them, what do you know about Love Island, you two?
Absolutely nothing, apart from the fact that Hayley said something about Brexit a few days ago.
Only showed some interest in something.
Nigel?
Well, I haven't really been a fan of it, but having sort of researched it a bit this morning, it sounds like rather good fun, actually.
It is fun.
Yeah, I like it.
To watch or go as a contestant?
Well, I might get invited on, you never know.
I doubt it, but you know.
If you want to get this new newspaper...
Oh, Alistair, we're not doing any product placement. Love Island, you two. Fans?
Die-hard fan.
Die-hard fan. And what about you, Raphael?
Sadly not. As I say, the idea slightly kind of appeals, but I've basically Big Brother was the last time I really obsessively followed a reality TV programme, so I'm way out of date.
This is much better than Big Brother.
Do you think they need to talk more about Brexit on Love Island?
Both.
Yeah, right, thank you.
I think for younger people to have more of an understanding about Brexit, but since I've got to learn about it, I'm actually finding it really interesting.
Great. Well, Adam can spend hours with you about it. Well done, Adam. Thank you for coming in, and to everybody for being on the show. Not that binder. That's it from all of us.
Last week, of course, I live near the St Morgan Naval Air Station, and we get all the Americans down there, and they come to take my daughters out. Bastards. Last Tuesday night, a knock come to the door, and a man said, "Good evening. My name is Lance. I've come to see your daughter Nance. I'd like to take her to the dads." Any chance? I said, I don't know. I said, Nance, there's a man called Lance that'd like to take you to the dance. Any chance? Yeah, she said, I'll be right down. Well, the one very long for the door knock again, and the man said, good evening. My name is Joe. I come to see your daughter, Flo. I'd like to take her to the show. Do you think she'll go? I said, I don't know. I'll ask her. I said, Flo, there's a man called Joe. I'd like to take you to the show. Will you let her go? Yes, she said, I'll be getting right down. Well, the one very long before the door knock again, and the man said, good evening. My name is Tucker.